Let's talk about something that needs to be said louder and more often. Victims do not need to take accountability for the abuse they suffered. And if that sentence makes you uncomfortable, it's probably because we've been conditioned to normalize victim blaming and call it healing. But today, we're breaking that down. I'm Coach Nia Renee, certified relationship recovery coach, and I help survivors of narcissistic abuse and emotional abuse reclaim their voices, rebuild their self-trust, and stop shrinking in spaces they were meant to take up. So, let's get into it. There's this false belief that in every toxic relationship, both people played a role, that both people were at fault. But let's be real. Abuse is not a relationship dynamic. It's a power violation, and it's never mutual. When someone chooses to lie, manipulate, control, or violate another person's boundaries, that's on them. Survivors don't cause abuse, they endure it. And a survivor's reaction, whether it's staying, being silent, or trying to fix the other person, are not signs of accountability. They're signs of survival. Let's talk about what really happens to a lot of victims. Most aren't choosing to stay, they're groomed. They're slowly isolated. Their sense of reality is distorted. They're made dependent, financially, emotionally, and sometimes even spiritually. And over time, they're taught to believe that their safety depends on pleasing their abuser, that if they just love them better, it'll stop. If they just stay quiet, it won't get worse. Baby, that's not love. That's coercion. And it results in trauma responses. Fawning, freezing, disassociation, silence. These aren't weaknesses. These are survival instincts kicking in. This is literally your brain responding to the trauma in the only way that it knows how to respond to trauma. You know why society blames victims? Because it's easier than facing the truth that someone we liked, respected, or admired is capable of harm. Blaming the victim keeps our illusion of safety intact. We ask, why didn't they leave? Instead of, why did the abuser create a world so unsafe that leaving felt impossible? We ask, what did they do to provoke it? Instead of, what made the abuser believe they had the right to control someone's life? This is what I call abuse culture in disguise. And it sounds logical until you realize it's built on silencing, not the truth. I want to speak directly to survivors here. If you've ever been told you need to own your part in what happened, please know that this isn't accountability. It's shame dressed up in a therapeutic language. There's a difference between healing your triggers and taking responsibility for someone else's cruelty. And far too often, survivors are pressured to self-blame just to make others more comfortable. You didn't attract abuse. You didn't manifest trauma. You didn't deserve what happened, period. Healing is about release, not responsibility. It's about looking at the past with compassion and saying what happened to me was not my fault, but how I rise from it. That's mine to own. You get to heal without carrying shame. You get to thrive without explaining why it took you so long to leave. You get to be whole without being blamed for being broken. If no one's told you this today, you didn't cause it, you didn't choose it, and you don't need to take accountability for surviving something that was never your burden to carry. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to start healing, book a session with me at the link in the captions. You deserve peace, and you don't have to earn it by carrying pain.